was for a higher juicy leaves, maybe Obibia Aquawa. I had the latest hot qua and I'm the Bromo. I don't say we don't subscribe to channel idea, but Modia say over subscribe. The way I say over click a year the subscribe button, you know. Now what barely notification, you know. We are a video for Frubia be upload, no. When the first person once a becca a year video. Afi we are now what like video and give us a thumbs up, na fi share my wofufro so na when you be here now who and someone ekoso ewo Ghana memo afi yehwe ye semwa abeto yepno so eye report bi aba abetodwa momenti eye enkomo na ekoso efa ye sa report no momenti
kaban sesa ma enkenye senka yansesa he abusuafuo yi pa free ye so pa nkwa principalities fuo yi si yansesa wo mo pa mo man ko pa dia enka Bawumia be wie 4 years nanka Ghana de abose ye to nanka Ghana ne de ka Ghana de nanka sei nanka Ghana pa de nya Ghana bi hwe energy sector makana wa ha se we president Akufo Addo nanka se si nchen ya enipa mienu mu di Ghana bro di Ghana nya eye na po Dr. Metopoku Prempe ene Dr. Mahamadu Bawumia energy sector eka yegu energy sector eka na minority for mashe black akogu parliament eye dede dumso omo yesa dede no they know omunim hawo omo de agu Ghana fo so Afenyo Markins kri nyina kri no say ne yenya ne yama 2 hours na eninsem hu bi opeso ka bia wonken aya black akosi wonu ya ena dumso nyina no omunnim se senye leader te se president Mahama enka by now Ghana dumso crisis anke wo mu no enye bi ni se 3 days 4 days ni ya dum light 5 hours yankupo hu Ghana mabo kwa me yan start ne yanko yammo president Mahama yini na yan toto asonko momma me se waka Ghana ka ya start ye firi ho e ka o mine edie na manya bre na ma kire mu president Mahama ya campaign o committee those days no labor unions ni trade union congress no catch am say ayeba momma ye honeymoon days any ade no na nkrofo kan na no wa madwuma ye ena nipa no kwa wo pe president no munti asem a woka ye bedi hanimu a day president Mahama swearing in ade chi ya pe ena independent power producers onu amu hia ye won office ha ne office ya wa ya hayi cantonment hayi senso won so ya la bonio ne office ya wa hayi da president Mahama ni swearing in adeachi ya pe anopa ko na wo ye meetings wa ha na chief of staff honorable Julius Dabramu ye engagement meetings wa ha John Jina po ni emu ndi ba no start e engagement e wa ha meetings no wo tu kwa Nigeria ba na mu fi se Nigeria na no wo ko no e ka wako ye business partners Ghana but in all no also to opposition ohun so wo minor say ohun so Ghana asay Ghana wo crisis Ghana mu nipa bre wo man mu timamfo brankasa a teacher for bre nurses are suffering teachers are suffering carpenters are suffering students are suffering hairdressers are suffering okay yanko ohun wanyina en wo say emprempremu buafo emprempremu Ghana jefo enyi obiade waye bida ono John Dramani Mahama ene betimi aba abegye wo man no no wasiesie wo man no enti sede ye di kan ka kira ye se Ghana be ye yie bi mu a ebeteki ye mfisia polepole aduasa 3 decades 30 years no president Mahama se 4 years yen hwede obetimi aye
sustainable levels and ultimately eliminated. The financial sector continues to struggle despite the reportedly spending of 29.9 billion on the financial sector cleanup exercise up to date. Scant reserves were also left for debt servicing, despite implementing what may be considered the most severe and distressing sustainable levels and ultimately eliminated. The financial sector continues to struggle despite the reportedly spending of 29.9 billion on the financial sector cleanup exercise up to date. Scant reserves were also left for debt servicing, despite implementing what may be considered the most severe and distressing economic policy in the annals of the Fourth Republic, if not in the entirety of our nation's history. And I'm referring to the domestic debt exchange program. This is in stark contrast to our actions in 2017 before we left office, when we allocated $250 million to the sinking fund handed over to the incoming government to service debts, Ghana's debts. There have been claims that buffers were left for debt repayment, oncoming debt repayment this year. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, let me give you the statement of account for the debt service reserve account, which is also popularly referred to as the sinking fund. This fund shows a balance of only $64,000 in the dollar account, $64,000 in the dollar account, and 143 million Ghana cedis in the CD account. The repercussions of the accumulation of debt and economic mismanagement will require extensive work and sacrifice to repair. In the next 4 years, to put things in context for you, Mr. Speaker, in the next 4 years, our debt servicing will amount to 280 billion cedis. And this comprises of 150 billion for domestic debt and 130 billion in external debt servicing. Our catastrophic debt position has also severely impacted infrastructural projects that should have been completed. Currently, there are 55 stalled projects due to the default of debt and subsequent restructuring, with a total value of $2.95 billion not disbursed. The stalling of these projects is expected to result in a cost overrun of about 15 billion cedis. Mr. Speaker, notwithstanding this gloomy background, I remain committed to lead sustainable levels and ultimately eliminate it. The financial sector continues to struggle despite the reportedly spending of 29.9 billion on the financial sector cleanup exercise up to date. Scant reserves were also left for debt servicing, despite implementing what may be considered the most severe.
President Mahama 2017 handing over 7th January. Ne handing over our year Edimana na Akufo Addo Dr. Bawumia. Ni abofutuo bi efre say sinking fund. Na sinking fund no de Emma MPP aban no sika na edem na eye $200 million. Sinking fund. Sika na edasa afutuo no no eye $200 million. President Mahama said na Akufo Addo edi eja no no eye $64,000. I said that to be said. $64,000 oh. Sika wo mo beto ya wasafutuo no no a na eye $200 million no. After 8 years, na Akufo Addo Bawumia ban sika akamu ye $64,000. Cedis so eye 143 million Ghana cedis. Sika no way. Looters akronfo aban. Omo fa sika no ko. Aside sinking fund no, omo bebe to Ghana Infrastructure Investment Fund. Ya na seed money $270 million na dem. Oh. Kojo to ya mutu. Stabilization Fund $277 million. ya mutu ni nyina ekọ wa meto hweo wa enti mo kai Ghana fo amutie mawie yi mi Facebook fo mo amuhwe mi wo CTV mo ate se makasa ade wo ha se na Akufo Addo Bawumia ban emeka nchira Ghana fo because President Mahama for 8 years in opposition they were consistent. Say Ghana Infrastructure Investment Fund omuje $270 million wom and Sana Sinking Fund omuje $200 million with BOG and Sana your friend is a stabilization fund and so omuje $277 million for 8 years they be no more same way 80 MPP are buying so akwa opposition ya gather that momentum no courage no mo mrabonte meka nchire Ghana for say Sanfo Tróuble ya President Mahama boto wono mo a wo kam yensa ni bomu asika na damu nyasem ketwa no omo kone se na omu gyaye ehu bi na President Mahama say sinking fund a omu gya $200 million no omo gya 64,000 Ghana cedis not even 100,000 Ghana cedis. Hey so Ghana afi enfie 94 years ya every 2025 ekopim 2028 ni 4 years no eka ya obetua debt e be service domestic ni external eye 280 billion Ghana cedis na matena no mo nso aka na bribia say yes call International Monetary Fund ye negotiations no DDEP debt exchange program ayeye no so 2022 2023 2024 MPP are buying man service debt bia external debt say ye swa dollars akwane ye creditors yakwakotu omo kana omo antua bida omo sumsa kana nyina de good President Mahama so ya start etua from this year 2025 etino omo necessary na do second term ne de 2021 omo settle kakra no tua kakra na ekon omo antua biem but omo sumsa kana nyina de good President Mahama ban so ya sa aka no 4 years ni eka obetua eye 280 billion Ghana cedis. Hey, me say we nunka Kenny first rank o ma mena san krofo we nko ma mena yi o ma tu agira yi anadwo na ke de ade akohye hye o mani na ke do ma kogire gina no ya level so kama yes because untimi your mind population over 3 population rise na on say no 33 million na on say no na on trans na unidi me se we ya ene President Mahama akogina ho ye ni abe kasai we do ko president former president Akufo Addo wanu mu nunu adidi ame ada aba na numa hwewiem adwen awodwen o se bank na wo mu eguru no eka ya service etwamu 29 billion Ghana cedis se President Akufo Addo former president Akufo Addo ene Bawumia banks ehia 9 billion Ghana cedis ni ade bebo Ghana fo nyuma ho ban ama Ghana fo aye adwuma 9 billion se be invest 9 billion ewo mu no ye gu no ama oman no e ka be to oman no so egusu aye tua eye 29.5 close to 30 billion Ghana cedis. Hey President Mahama waka say we are and before no instruct wo mo kwacheche nkrofo na me dey insam keke kan say kura na say o mo da so atete mu fie kura di mi kura na ne ye kura ye start adwa ye bu kura start afu kwa me ye kwa next one afeyentie eka wo beto ye from 122 billion yentie President Mahama say eka na ban aba beto cocoa sector eka wa ba beto ho yentie ni nyina and then Ghana ni bia so nim say cocoa sector ne de omagunu omabomu kro no
Ghana Cocoa Board, the hope of cocoa farmers, is also highly indebted. Its balance sheet indicates a total debt of 32.5 billion Ghana cedis, of which 9.7 billion is due to be paid at the end of September 2025. Ghana Cocoa Board, the hope of cocoa farmers, is also highly indebted. Its balance sheet indicates a total debt of 32.5 billion Ghana cedis, of which 9.7 billion is due to be paid at the end of September 2025. In 2023-2024 crop season, Cocoa Board was unable to supply 333,767 metric tons of cocoa, which it had sold at $2,600 per ton. As a result, the then management of Cocoa Board rolled over these contracts into the 2024-2025 season. Honorable members, Mr. Speaker, this implies that for every ton of cocoa delivered this year, in fulfillment of the rollover contracts, Cocoa Board and Ghanaian farmers are going to lose $4,000 in revenue. Mr. Speaker, as I address this Honorable House, Cocoa Board has supplied 210,000 tons out of the rolled over contract, resulting in a revenue loss of $840 million for both Cocoa Board and the Ghanaian farmer. Mr. Speaker, Cocoa Board and the Ghanaian farmer will lose another $495 million by the time the board finishes supplying the remaining rolled over contracts. Additionally, cocoa road commitments alone total 21.7 billion cedis, of which only 4.4 billion is included in the total debt of 32.5 billion. This debt has arisen mainly because of the decision in 2019 and 2020 to award road contracts. Ghana Cocoa Board, the hope of cocoa farmers, is also highly indebted. Its balance sheet indicates a total debt of 32.5 billion Ghana cedis, of which 9.7 billion is due to be paid at the end of September 2025. In 2023-2024 crop season,
because nyame ni 8 years ni pa no ye di ho aboro. Cocoa Board amane na President Mahama ebo na wie isa no cocoa sector ya na ye the backbone of Ghana's economy. Cocoa akuafo edu cocoa season ya no omo kwa na wo mo ba. President Mahama se eka ya eda ho no mo eye 32.3 billion Ghana cedis. Na sa eka we na eda ho no mo no Afia September ye e wo si etua 9 billion Ghana cedis. President Mahama ne handing over 2017 na cocoa season cocoa ye produce wa Ghana ha say no 960,000 metric tons. 2022-2023 cocoa season cocoa e wase ye tone ye de ko ye kwaji cocoa loan ne ye de bitua ye ho aka no ne ade no yantimi enya cocoa ni nyina metric tons do de ko no ye shortly be say 333,000 metric tons. Ena sa Cocoa Board papa no ho edu no bo ahin edu oni fifi buafo o man FM guy no a ye se ene udu trasa kwa ne mansion to so sa ene he 333,000 metric tons ho kan nyina no almost sum edi agu NDC aban eso e kan nyina no a President enti me shawa me tise me sister e bisa me se na sika na President Mahama e buru so na debt se sika no wo kwafa na wai me sister for wa was na President Mahama gina ho no ma e na Ghana's debt e na cocoa debt e na ho debt a wo buru so sa no se sika no President Mahama kwa kwafa na wai was na President Mahama dan one penny baby antena for wa na kai was President Mahama Addo one asomano I don't want penny baby antena case na ehu o serious ankasa ye kan say ya me kai NDC wo opposition na se Kwabena betena ha listo we betena ne ye betena ha se ni ye kan obi gina kire a office wo pese NDC ba power wo pese President Mahama sa ba power enti na ebia wani abere a wo kan sembi edigu aban ne so but ene me pese me ka kire wo se Anno Dompreh Afenyo Markins sa micro minority no a omugu ofia na no ma she black no sa report we information when a President Mahama give you out no enye omo wanwo because omo ya where omo dear President on so omo to one mama ye di na omo nim na omo anka setiri mu no omo ani ewu omo ani mu egu ase because omo hu so omo ni Ghana ndi ni ye omo hu say omo ni Ghana ndi ni ye omo ani mu egu ase wo Ghana fo anim enti I'm not surprised say na ubekwa to video bi wo social media na MPP communicator eti ebia station bi MPP station catch President Akufo Addo ni ministers say omo de Ghana for catch up njoma me pa Ghana for achew kwa mma me next video na ye nkwene no an ye ya ma Ghana for enhunu sade eniema esitie Ghana for hunu mo ma me energy sector ECG ka aje say Ghana han.
After initial assessment of the books, we have discovered that our economic problems are much deeper than was previously known. We have inherited a country that is broken on many fronts. The profundities of the challenges confronting us are staggering. We are saddled with staggering debts and glaring signs of it. After initial assessment of the books, we have discovered that our economic problems are much deeper than was previously known. We have inherited a country that is broken on many fronts. The profundities of the challenges confronting us are staggering. We are saddled with staggering debts and glaring signs of almost deliberate and in some cases reckless mismanagement of our resources. Mr. Speaker, not even the restraints of an IMF program were enough for the previous economic managers to exercise prudence in managing our finances. After setting an inflation target of 18% by the end of 2024, the actual outturn was 23.8%, significantly higher than the threshold agreed with the IMF. The Ghana cedi continued its downward slide, losing 19% of its value against the dollar in 2024. It had already in the previous year lost 27.8% of its value. In addition to the public debt, which amounts to a staggering 721 billion cedis, several state-owned enterprises are also in debt, including the ECG, which owes 68 billion Ghana cedis. After initial assessment of the books, we have discovered that our economic problems are much deeper than was previously known. We have inherited a country that is broken on many fronts. The profundities of the challenges confronting us are staggering. We are saddled with...
say Ghana, a public debt, 721 billion Ghana cedis. So 721 billion Ghana cedis. Omo beto 121. So what it means is say Oma added 600 billion Ghana cedis. Ena ediaka the public debt stock no. Omo beto 120 billion Ghana cedis. And it is what 120 billion Ghana cedis. Edi free a reporter President Mahama Ademeyaw Anas. The otchere say 8 years in no. The Akufo Addo Bawumia ede eka ho no 600 billion Ghana cedis. 600 billion Ghana cedis. Afei ECG kaya da ECG so 68 billion Ghana cedis. Eka Afenyo Markins aban MPP abro aban etirimodemfo aban mambofo aban Afenyo Markins Anno Dompreh enema she black se Ghana yesum because you witness power outages maban abro etirimodemfo wudifo akromfo aban ECG eka wo mu jade to hono no 68 billion Ghana cedis. Na just even 2024 kran PWD audit ya omo ye no senka ECG sika omo jeje de fa account mu kura no account de omo wiawia ne nche nyina anka ho ba account mu kura sika fam 15.8 billion Ghana cedis no senka ECG de sika ni nyina akura tuya ya enka ebia anka kan be 60 billion but ye hunu say sika ECG de ye 15.8 billion Ghana cedis no de omo tuya ye eye be 6.3 billion dia kan nyina omo awia enti na me ka kira wo se hwe senka nyanyankopon na aboa Ghana na ye da ya sorry 7 December na dia be chi ne kwasi ada 8 December na NAPO vice yami mpengu mabrunsam fefra yankopon wo mpengu ala kiaye yami mpengu ye twam ye du yesu mo je twam NAPO energy minister 4 years otu fun yen so betu fun pa de amount minister otu fun uyu obetu fun no de amount NAPO ye energy minister eka wono ye energy minister no wa brodi egu hono no en ECG kan no 68 billion Ghana cedis oso wasape vice president yedi ni akase na po kwa head economic management team say ye jimienti because ye jimi 8 years 2017 ekopem 2024 ezino mu free 2025 nso ejimifo na omudi yeso no ya say jimia ye chese ye de so jimifo de bi mada enti NAPO Ghana beda obesori ye 8 December ne ya tra ukọ Google na wo ba the vice president of the Republic of Ghana is ready nyankopon the vice president Dr. Matthew Poku Prempe nation in a time 68 billion na sa eka we no enye Ghana fo na eba betua o sika ne sha omo to e wo mo ho sika no e wo mo ho NAPO president Akufo Addo Bawumia Haptel wo mo Dubik Mahama emre bia Dubik resign ye me ni MPP ni bi hia o se je se Ghana en obi bokro no a obi di o man bonia obi ye criminal nipa ni MPP ni no what describe the big Mahama so ye criminal so that guy he's a criminal oni omo cartel ECG one wo mo bokro no na wa ye kwada ya sorry ye Haptel issues ba ye Mahamadu Bik a resign no akwa akotena fie under his watch and omu import to container $500,000 hwe $500,000 no a womo ema ni si ho no mo a aban no confiscate ya obi koto $100,000 Ghana cedis omo fa che koto $300,000 na obi asori aka kire Ghana ni say President Mahama ntimi njeli obia President Mahama ontimi njeli obia how said the President Mahama ntimi njeli obia mama me national service dia ne yenko oh ye mama agenda wa mama answer mi wi agenda wa matoa so now no energy minister interview ye o say IMF for proposal so come to ayi kanea bom say 53% ni ntumu ne hani pa o because me se Ghana ha last year 2024 me bill me tua many bam ho so from 250 me tua 800 one man can't just so much on can you 1000%. 53% ni entumu no haye yo but enenam kwa yisa na egu nkofo account yisiji na egu nkofo account mu saa na o maboa no na ya be ka kire Ghana for say yisiji de ka 68 billion eye ka da ho because akronfo akatel mo mame ekaya ya burusu nyina ye nkofo ye gya nyina hospital ba ko pe 8 years ko man sibi agenda 111 President Mahama say ba ko pe na Akufo Addo so ne last so na waka kire Ghana for agenda 111 wie mu 3 ni predecessor President Mahama so obo papa no mu hia na mu siri hu waboa pani mu odi ntro wo so woboa.
The Agenda 111 program, which was started as a knee-jerk reaction during the COVID-19 pandemic, when the Ghanaian public had begun to appreciate the significant investments that the previous NDC administration had made in healthcare facilities, and began to lament the many hospital projects that had stalled under the previous administration, a promise was made to build 111 hospitals. Mr. Speaker, I'm sad to note that there is no dedicated funding source for such a gargantuan project. There is no dedicated funding source for this gargantuan project. Mr. Speaker, for the record, as I speak, not a single Agenda 111 hospital is operational. In any part of Ghana, I challenge you, not one is operational. Mr. Speaker, and it is worth disclosing that $400 million has already been disbursed under the Agenda 111 project. Mr. Speaker, at a rate of approximately $80 million per hospital, this $400 million spent could have completed and made operational at least 22 of those hospitals. Mr. Speaker, the Agenda 111 program, which was started as a knee-jerk reaction during the COVID-19 pandemic, when the Ghanaian public had begun to appreciate the significant investments that the previous NDC administration had made in healthcare facilities, and began to spend it.
And chance no mo dey twetwada no wan hyehyia no. Sika President Mahama say ya spend it $401 million US dollars. Ba ko pekura ni wanu mo ye adwuma na Akufo Addo say wa wie 3. Ba 3 na oso wa wie ya na so na okoka ye no 8 years. He said ye I won go to aba man kokrafo bia so na medi president o Ghana hanu mu bie mu. Omo no ho. Odi oya kokrawa no a extra time no wo after 70 years na extra time na dwe papa bia ni nitini 8 years o after say waja wa manika 720 something billion no hospital ba ko pekura wansibi. President Mahama say sika wa ma send agenda 111 no $401 million US dollars no agenda 111 ba ko bia ho ka 18 million US dollars. Enti say we calculate here 18 million US dollars no $400 million US dollars no was sank ye 22 bako 22 e was sank ye tanky operational contractor ni wie ya na chese ye tani key nurse for doctor for patients you come na akwa akoye adwuma after see spending $400 million US dollars no bako pe ha Mrs. said akokora bia me di president okrom ha bia mu kwa me ma me fa na wa kokora we bia nya 70 years a wo extra time a wo bona dwen papa bia ndime si we mu na we no ya busua pani obi wu no obedi ade a kokofuo behwe waton abusua fie no waton abusua sase wo twa tondi wono wo gye na ewu onfu bia ho ma me last one osi national service scandal no ebi adwane dwane de wo bedwane but wo beba abe fesi yenye energy okay yenye energy we ana atwa so national service ntina eno ana mitu MDC fo no funu sebo adom na aso hoso and I dear Chia for baby, congratulations.
Mr. Speaker, my administration inherited an energy sector on the brink of collapse. It was weighed down by unsustainable debt. This unfortunate situation has led to many independent power producers and fuel suppliers threatening to cease their operations. Mr. Speaker, listen to this. Despite collecting over 45 billion cedis in energy sector levies, ESLA, over the last 8 years, the outgone administration has left the Ghanaian people with an energy sector burdened with a staggering debt of 70 billion. Mr. Speaker, my administration inherited an energy sector on the brink of collapse. It was weighed down by unsustainable debt. This unfortunate situation has led to many independent power producers and fuel suppliers threatening to cease their operations. Mr. Speaker, listen to this. Despite collecting over 45 billion cedis in energy sector levies, ESLA, over the last 8 years, the outgone administration has left the Ghanaian people with an energy sector burdened with a staggering debt of 70 billion cedis as of December 2024. It is of deep concern that several state-owned enterprises in the energy sector are struggling to stay afloat, and unless urgent interventions are made, many of them will go under. Financial distress in the energy sector remains a significant obstacle to delivering consistent and affordable electricity to Ghanaians, and it poses an existential threat to our economy in general. Compounding these challenges, critical maintenance activities such as the scheduled pigging of the West African gas pipeline WAPCO were postponed from 2024 to 2025 without sufficient contingency measures for alternative fuel supply. As a result, my administration has had to swiftly mobilize resources to secure emergency fuel supplies to ensure that electricity generation continues despite the closure of the West African gas pipeline. I have been informed that the pigging exercise will be completed in the first week of March, and once again additional gas will flow from Nigeria. We are anticipating a marked improvement in the power situation once this begins. While the current state of our energy sector poses grave concerns, we must remain resolute in our commitment to restoring stability. I've directed the Minister
and Sana energy sector ESLA. Somebody Mr. President Mahama na introduce ESLA. Energy Sector Levy Act. Annually near 3 billion Ghana cedis. Ya the best service debtor energy sector na wo hono mo. Enwo jai bo for 2020 wo kwai wo sika 8 years ni ESLA. Ya generate ya 45 billion Ghana cedis. 45 billion Ghana cedis no. Eka ono beto ye 70 billion Ghana cedis. Na wanya bibia ma wase gya abo ne koro no. Ana Akufo Addo. Iswan paase onipa ba. Si wanya bibia ma wase a ye gyan ebo ne koro no. ESLA wa be 8 car watimi anya film 45 billion Ghana cedis. Wodi yankan fa bi kura anka ho. Ana wodi 45 billion ka gya ye bi. Eka da ho ye 70 billion because ESLA no odi akosi awowa akoji hu sika aspanda ESLA no kosi awowa ji hu sika o yes sika no nso a ubisa nso de ye da ya radio wada anu munu rada adwen awodwen sumo hu se ne sitie enti energy sector we see 68 billion na wo ba energy na nso mu nso a eno nso no mo ye ka road contractors cover 20 billion. Eh, na ka bebrebe nti mo be cha magana fo na etu ana se ka bebrebe ya mo brusu ya brusu kwe ni ya brusu se ya brusu sen. President Mahama say national service fo na adwane ebi adwane Mustafa Yusuf onwane okọ parliament po onwane ye na bi onwane ye Ghana ha o say be former KM mayor onwane Ghana ha ababa wa no kwan gift wa na adwane obi anwane o se so ofa Togo ofa Benin ofa mikro malata opekro no nkofa Kuwait opekro nfa Pluto obeba ababa fesi Ghana mra.
Yo, waiting for waiting and summer abeto yepono so make I say so we can subscribe to channel idea abomodi ase obe subscribe. Now fi wa like video give us a thumbs up na share ma ofofro so na wonye bi hwe sanse hadia latest and hot news enkwa era me de brewo also betimi atchere wadwen afaye and some way nyina ho ewo comment box ni mo beti minka bi in my next video.
Thanks for watching. Like and share the video. You can also drop your comment. Please don't forget to subscribe. Click on the bell to turn on the notification.